It is pretty much the same contract as the 2021 year itself, except that we have added in the cancellation and force majeure articles that we had in the 2021 agreement, which essentially says that if you've already made an agreement for a vendor to do something and they have spent money, then they still have to be paid whether you cancel or not, even if it's during the pandemic, that sort of thing. Otherwise, it is the same as the 2021 agreement.
Anybody have any questions?
Job sign a razor or the vendor boots.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're reflected in the contract.
no, it doesn't have anything there, it just says that they would like, how much, I mean, they would like to have. I don't think it's got signed, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing, that's mainly, the main thing we had tonight, I just got a few notes here. If, it's, I'm sure some of y'all know, maybe some of y'all don't know, but Jack Sharp passed away earlier today. And, I think he'd been a long-time minister, had a lot to do with music, was very interested in music, but, you know, he'd been ill for a couple of years on and off, and but he did pass away this morning. I'd like to thank, Waterloo Fire Department for the 4th of July fireworks that they put on for us annually, and had a lot of good response from people that visited from other places. They enjoyed the event. I'd like to thank the Lauderdale County Road Department and the Lauderdale County Solid Waste for helping us clean up the tree on the south boat dock that was taken down about 6 weeks ago in a storm on a Wednesday night, and they helped us tremendously to get that cleaned up before the 4th of July, and we greatly appreciate that. Tanya has mailed out the agreements for our vendor list for the Trail Tier. They've all been mailed out, so hopefully we'll be receiving those. A lot of people have already called and inquired, but she does have them all mailed out. Y'all have anything? Anybody have anything they'd like to bring up? This might be a short meeting. The main thing is we had to get this contract done for immunization. Huh? Yeah, we need to vote on this. Yep.
Mayor Allen Cadell.
No, we gotta have a motion first.
Who is the motion?
We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Allen Cadell,
Yes.
Chris Strickland,
Yes.
Jeremy Simpson.
Yes.
Casey Springer.
Anybody have anything they'd like to discuss or bring up? Anybody?
You were telling the riprap that barge is there. Are they just going to put some right there by the bridge, or is it going to go all?
That I do not know.
Okay.
I just saw he unloaded right there by the bridge, and I don't know if have done an inspection or what. All I found out is they shored up that one spot.
I think they deliver it there, and then they take it, put it on their barge, and they're taking it down the river, putting it on people's property, because they've done that for us some, and I've seen them going down the river now. So I think it's just an unloading spot for them to take.
Will they back up there and unload it? Appreciate it. Anybody else got anything?
Any update on bill you're checking on? The annexation bill?
The annexation, well, that becomes a question and, for the town council to discuss whether or not by annexing that they would then take over the road maintenance of Paradise Drive. The county would love for us to take over the road maintenance of Paradise Drive. I don't think the town council is in a position to do that at this time, given the work that still needs to be done by the county. So that's kind of where we are.
We'll set up a meeting with the county commission and have a meeting with them and try to,
Agreements can be made
Yeah.
with the commission that they continue to maintain until it's improved to a certain level. But that would need to be an agreement. Cause right now, the county would be able to shift the maintenance and the problems that we have with Paradise Drive to the town. And then we would be paying the county to fix Paradise Drive.
Well, I'm not concerned with Paradise Drive, I'm talking about the north end.
The other end, yeah, well, that is just another, is just
Is
another
it the
issue.
same issue on the bridge is the issue out there that?
That's right, that's right. And again, as we've discussed, there are three ways you can do it. There's by consent of all the property owners that are contiguous. And it's by legislative act that the legislature can determine that, the proper town limits would encompass, a more uniform manner than it is right now, or there is by referendum, where 60% of the voters in each quarter section, as long as there's 2 electors in each quarter section that needs to be annexed in, they could call for an election at that point to be voted in.
Last question, has it got to be everything you just said, or?
No, it's the three ways. You can do it by consent of all the property owners.
All of them?
Well, that want to be annexed in.
Okay.
In other words, you can't skip a lot between the town. Everything has to be contiguous. You start with an anchor lot, and then you can stack them from there, going on up. Or you can go by legislative act, that if you have a particular area that you have in that quarter section, or however many quarter sections that there are, as long as you have 2 electors in each of those, and then 60% of the voters within that area want to be annexed in, then you can call for that can be done by legislative act, or you can then call for a referendum to be on the ballot as well. I think I may have confused the last two, or muddled up the last two, but that's
So,
pretty much how.
the way that would work, if there was say a center point at, town hall or the post office, say a half a mile radius, is that the way that would work?
Well, no, I think you would want to take in individual parcels, because right now, the problem that Waterloo has, and part of it, is that the town limits purportedly split some parcels. And that is an issue.
Yeah, that, a radius would clear that up.
It would, but I guess what I'm suggesting is that you take individual parcels and, take that radius that you're talking about. Take a radius and find individual parcels that fill that radius pretty much. And then say the legislature, here is a petition that has more than 60% of the voters in it that want it, with electors in each quarter section, and ask the legislature to then adopt the legislation. Or certify it to the probate court and have a referendum.
So in other words, it's in our lap.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I got a
Because we're
question.
not getting anywhere unless we do something.
That's right. That's
I
right.
guess, Wayne, I'm kind of like, I look at it and I go, what's the advantage, other than maybe a few votes, to annex when the county's taking care of a lot of these expenses that Waterloo can't afford? So what's the real advantage of expanding the borders and expanding the expenses for Waterloo?
I can think of a lot of advantages.
Really? I mean, I don't know, I don't, what are they?
You would have a vote, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
We would have a say-so in, the people that annex in could be on the council, the mayor, or whatever, to participate in what happens in the town. You know, right now, we hear it, but we don't have any say-so.
Have a voice. See, I guess I'm new to this, but it doesn't.
Well, I am too.
I've been coming, I live in Waterloo, and I've been coming here for 20 years. I guess I just don't see any issues with trying to expand the vote, you know? Especially if it's more
That would be the
expensive.
main issue.
If it's mainly more expensive, if we can't, I mean, if Waterloo can't take care of the roads, and the county's doing this now, and Waterloo doesn't have the equipment,
Well, what's the difference?
well, if they have to pay, they're still gonna have to pay and maybe more. And then they're gonna have to contract with the county to take care of, granted, the county doesn't do such a great job on Paradise, for example, but at least they do something, and that's better than nothing. But I don't think Waterloo could do anything without having to pay for it.
Okay, so what's gonna change?
I'm sorry?
What's gonna change if you annex?
I guess more responsibility would be placed on Waterloo for expanding.
No, they can't do it, so the county does it now.
Right.
So what's gonna change?
If you annex,
Yeah,
I would say this, I think in the long run, if you're concerned about taxes, I think Waterloo eventually will have to charge taxes. And, you know, that's a fair amount, maybe, but, you know, it's just, you're gonna be paying property taxes to the county and to the city eventually, I think.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, if I might add just a note of observation, I think what the point I think what he's trying to make is that if we can add a larger voter base to the town of Waterloo, what you're then able to do is transfer taxes that are currently being paid to the county commission, then start coming to the town of Waterloo.
That'd be great.
Like when you buy your tag, it wouldn't be an increase in tax, it would just be a transfer of where those taxes go.
Yeah, I guess I didn't understand that, because I already pay a lot of property taxes.
Right,
And
right.
they just go up every year. And I'm thinking, okay, well, do I wanna pay property plus city too?
Yeah, and that is the cost benefit that you start to work with in it. Since the town of Waterloo does not offer road services right now, that is a big thing. And also right now, all of the garbage collection is county collection as well. So what would happen even with the county collection, if the county's still maintaining it, a portion of that fee could be paid to the town as well. So it's it'd be a reallocation of tax, not necessarily an increase in tax. But you'd have to judge whatever increase there would be by the millage going up for being in the town than it would otherwise. And then, like, again, I know, there's not each side of the town's worried about Paradise Drive, but if there's an increased electric,
That's a big tax base for you.
that's right. If it's an increase in electorate in that, then you have an opportunity to have a little bit bigger bully pulpit. And also when the mayor goes and the council goes to the state government for additional CARES Act funds or any sort of grants that may be, if you're able to say, we are a town of 300 to 400 instead of 200, that keeps inching you up the line. So it's generally beneficial to grow in that respect. So that's just an observation.
And that's a big thing right there. I mean, you know, we're paying the taxes anyway, and if they get reapportioned to another section so that we can benefit by it, like you're talking about, that is a big thing.
That is the thing.
That is
But how many voters did we have vote last time in the mayor's race or the council race or whatever?
Mayor's race, I think it was 71, something like that. And I would say in the 70s,
And I think it was decided by one vote.
I think so.
So that's the point. I mean, Waterloo, we all love Waterloo. We love this little town, the area. greatest place in the state to live. But as it grows, then the base needs to grow so that people can run and participate in the government of Waterloo. And that's the whole point, I think. You know, we're not gonna grow leaps and bounds and let 60 or 70 people control everything, unless you expand the city. And that's the whole point, in my point.
Well, I think the next step proper for us is to probably have a meeting with the county commission, don't you? To see what their feelings are on
Yeah.
the bridge, Paradise Road, or other facilities that they maintain. You know, like ditches, storm sewer problems, things of that nature that they maintain now, is see if they would be willing to retain ownership of those and maintain them for the future.
I know the town was really hoping that with this last Rebuild Alabama funds, as well, there were inquiries made about the change of the bridge that we have here. But keep in mind, the problem with that bridge is not only is it a county road, but it's over a TVA easement. So there's more than one governmental entity that you have to work through.
Well, we'll try to get a meeting set up by the next meeting, to see what their feelings are on it.
I just don't want it to die.
Oh, I understand that.
I mean, I bring it up every meeting because, not that I'm interested in being a councilman or mayor or anything, it's just I think more people ought to participate.
Okay.
And I would just say, I'm not interested in running for anything, but I am interested in making sure Waterloo has the support it needs and it's cost effective. And we do get some support from the county that would have to be transferred to Waterloo, and I just would say, is it gonna cost more or less to do that?
But if the town grows,
It's not gonna grow.
you're gonna,
much.
pardon?
This town's not gonna grow much.
The town is gonna grow.
I just moved here.
It's
And-
not,
and-
It's not gonna grow much.
In spite of,
economic development, all this is personal property, it's nothing.
It ain't gonna grow.
You might have small business, but you'll never have economic development here in Waterloo. There's no room for it.
I don't know that I want that, but it's the best kept secret in Alabama, and the secret's gonna
And
get
it's
out
the
one day.
property's not available in the town limits, is what it's saying, it's not available in the town limits.
I don't think it's gonna grow, Wayne. I mean, if you look at, cause I looked at lots on Paradise, there's nothing left. And in town, you know, if it's gonna grow, I would think it would have grown by now. You know, when you say grow, I'm thinking in population. I just don't see it.
That's
And I'm
only
not-
factories, only
I'm
thing
not
that's ever
promoting,
came here.
promoting the growth, I'm
Yeah.
saying it is gonna grow. There is gonna be another business or two or three that's gonna locate down here to serve the surges in the summer, Trail of Tears or whatever. And that's gonna happen.
If it happens, then you respond. I mean, I agree, if it happens and it grows that much, and you have a tax base to support Waterloo, and you double the population because some business comes in here, then you got different circumstances. What do we have now?
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
once you get that
There's
base,
no property.
then you're gonna have more money, and it's gonna support all of the roads and maybe a police or whatever.
I agree, if you get the base, that's a big if.
But the base is gonna come. You write that in your minutes.
Okay.
It's gonna come.
Yeah, it may, but it might be 20 years from now.
Okay.
You know,
I mean,
you got some good points, you really do. The thing is, it evolves, not doubles all at one time. It takes time. And as it takes time, for the money that's been reapportioned like he's talking about, it will grow, and that'll be an asset to it, and make it even grow. And I'm not for it growing real fast either. I like it down here. It is the best kept secret in the world. However,
I'm not for it,
however,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
all
just
for
realistic.
growth.
Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry,
I'm all for growth.
yeah.
Minimal as it may be, evolving over a period of time, it's gonna grow.
You know, it
I
may.
mean, we've got, I don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, no, it may grow, but I know when I first started coming here, I looked at the census, and it was just unusual. In 1999, we had, city of Waterloo had 201 people, and 10 years later, we had 200, and I thought, well, okay, who died? I mean, it's like, there was no growth,
I know.
you know, and I'm going, there's no growth, and then, I don't know what the census is today, but I don't sense that it's really grown much. So if you look at what's happened over the last 10, 15, 20 years, we haven't had much growth, good or bad, whether you like it or not. I'm impartial, I don't care. I just don't, I guess I don't see that growth coming in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, unless, like Wayne says, some business comes in and starts drawing people here.
Well, we got the lodge, it's a start,
Yeah, but, you know,
and it brings in people that are spending the money. I mean, not a lot of money,
yeah,
but it does help growth when more revenue comes in, whether it's in, I don't want to use the word, the more money spent here, the better the chance of the community to grow.
don't disagree. Yeah, it just, like Pat was saying, you know, where's the room for economic growth? Because that's where you get a lot of your taxes. And the only way you're gonna get taxes if you annex is from the people you annex. You're gonna have to make up for what the county doesn't provide if you try to transfer the services that the county is currently providing to the city. I don't know whether we're getting a bargain for what we're paying to the county or not, but I'd like to know before we transfer a lot of services that the city will be responsible for as opposed to the county. Because somebody's got to pay for it. That'd be my point.
Well, we can take the first step by sitting down with the county commission and then go from there. I mean, that's gonna be the starting point, because they'll
jump up and down saying, you be have at it.
you know. So, but like you say, whatever their assessment is, or their opinion is of maintaining certain facilities in the future, or not maintaining them, that's where our pros and cons will come from. And ultimately, you have to make a business decision. If you can maintain those facilities if you have to, or you can't. You know. Anybody else got anything? But we'll get a meeting with them. And see what their opinions are, or see what their feelings are on it. Anybody? Go ahead.
Any news on the library?
No, not right now. We're still got some things in works.
Okay, all right. One thing I will bring up, kind of regarding that, there's been a lot of people in the community who have expressed an interest in having, some of the town's records, history books, yearbooks, books that individuals from this community have written, that sort of thing, and they've said if we could find a safe place to put those, under lock and key, it wouldn't be a lending library per se, but it would be something that,
Come in and view.
yes, you could come in and look at it,
Yeah.
perhaps make copies of it, that sort of thing. Is that something that maybe we could put at town hall? Do you have any
Possibly.
room, maybe, or, you know, I've got some things that people have already donated.
Yeah, we'll work with you on that and try to find you a place to put that, for sure.
Okay,
And then they can come when Miss Tanya's there, and
okay. Like what,
she's
do
there.
I just come and say, hey, I've got some stuff, or do we need to?
See what, get all you got and holler at me, and we'll try to work with you on that.
Okay.
Find you a place there for that.
Okay, and one other thing while I'm talking, last time we had a meeting, I brought up the fact that several people in town had mentioned they'd like to have a city park, which I understand has been brought up in the past. And I wonder how do we, or can we pursue that, or?
We can pursue that, but I'll see what kind of grant money is out there that we could get to help us with that. You know, any undertaking that we take on, we try to get all the help we can. Cause when you start building facilities like that, not only are the facilities expensive, but your insurance goes up at the same time.
Right.
So, you know, if we take care of the insurance part, then we need to get help on the front end for the construction part.
I guess, and I don't know how to phrase this, and try not to sound like a smarty, but, when we bring up things like this, do you guys meet in between now and next month and maybe, talk about things like this? I mean, if I say, hey, people in the community have talked about getting a city park, do we just keep coming every month and bringing up city park, and, I mean, does somebody,
No, I
Actually take some steps
generally
towards
go
it, or
see, go talk to people I know that might be able to help us with grants and stuff, and see
Okay.
what's available, then next meeting I'll report to you.
okay,
And if we see we get some help, then we'll have a discussion about it here, while everybody's here, where everybody, because we wanna be transparent
right,
to what is available and what options we have to do anything.
right. And then you would talk about where to put it and that sort of thing.
That's correct.
If anybody ever wonders, I never let them meet of more than 3 people together at one time without calling a meeting.
Oh, I wasn't really talking about that, I just.
I have to think that
Yeah.
way, I'm sorry.
We, you know, generally unless it's running somebody's store, we don't meet. I mean, we all meet here, that's why we have meetings.
Right, I really didn't mean that, I just meant, is it talked about before the next meeting, you know, or?
We don't have a work session like some councils have where they discuss
Well,
things
that's what I
prior.
was getting at, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But we try, one thing this council tries to do is involve anybody who wants to participate. So with y'all coming and participating, we want, since y'all are part of the community, we want everybody that's wants to be involved, we'll give an opportunity to be involved. To bring up things they like to have, like to talk about, like to discuss, and then Tony and I will kind of research and see what's possibilities are and what's available to help us, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up? Do you hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Have a second? Thank y'all, we appreciate y'all's attendance.